San Diego is the destination tonight for World Team Tennis. The Aviators battling the Washington Kastles. The San Diego side could sail into the playoffs with a win tonight. A season of highs and lows with the cool hand of Captain John Lloyd at the wheel has helped put the Aviators in a spot to book travel. A trip to Vegas and a chance to play for the King Trophy. Well, the beaches of Southern California, a beautiful backdrop to World Team Tennis action here at the Costa Resort and Spa. The San Diego Aviators hosting the Washington Kastles. Welcome everyone to Carlsbad, California. I'm Lee Shiras alongside a former world number 4 and a 10-year veteran of World Team Tennis. That's James Blake. And the regular season coming to a close. And at this very moment, 5 teams still in the hunt, James, for 3 playoff spots. The Freedoms, the one team that have qualified for the chance to play for the King Trophy.
Yeah, it's such an exciting time. And for the Aviators, being in the spot where they somewhat control their own destiny. If they win out, they win their last 2 matches, they're in. There's a chance tonight they could clinch if all else goes according to plan, but they know in the back of their minds if they keep winning, they're going to be in Vegas.
Take a look at the stands. You can see just how close it is. The Freedoms winning another match tonight. Okay, well, you tell me. But, I mean, all right. Okay. No, it's behind me. So we have to turn. Scores. Okay, scores and then standings. Okay. So after standings, and then what are we going to talk about? We'll get ready for the lineups. Maybe what's going to be a key for San Diego? I mean, they've got the stronger team.
Yeah, stronger team. I think getting out to a good start, just because the other guys are young, and if they can break their spirit early, say something like that.
Here, take this. I think
because they got their anchor.
Look at that. 4 rookies.
Yeah, they got 4 rookies that haven't been here before, so if they can get on them early.
Is that my water there? Yes. Beautiful. I'll steal that.
I'll say that they've set it up so that they've got strength at the back of the lineup with the women's doubles and then the men's singles to finish it off. So if they can get out to a good start and really gain confidence.
And as you're saying that, they'll go to the order of play, right, Mitch? Or something like that, the lineup. There it is right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So where are they right now?
Oh, shit. Okay. Let's bank one. We'll do it with the 5 teams, right? Since we don't know yet. Watch out there. Oh, by the time we come on? Okay.
Oh, yeah, it'll be done.
Washington is just getting hammered.
Do we have the score update now?
Any score? Springfield. A win. Of course not. Lindstedt hit a return in the bottom of the net.
I've never seen anyone hit more balls clean into the middle of the net. I used to love playing him, and he'd stripe that backhand, and it's like, that's not even, like, it didn't hit the tape. It was the middle of the net. He just striped that one. Wasn't a miss hit. He just ripped it right into the middle of the net.
This girl's supposedly pretty good. Marta Kostic.
Kostic, okay.
She's going to play.
She's going to play.
Lubicic represents her.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll go take a look at, let's take a look at some of the scores going on right now. Springfield hosting Orange County.
Anyone on Castles or no? Okay.
Okay. San Diego is the destination tonight for World Team Tennis. The Aviators battling the Washington Kastles. The San Diego side could sail into the playoffs with a win tonight. A season of highs and lows with the cool hand of Captain John Lloyd at the wheel has helped put the Aviators in a spot to book travel. A trip to Vegas and a chance to play for the King Trophy. On the beaches of Southern California, a beautiful backdrop to World Team Tennis action here at the La Costa Resort and Spa. The San Diego Aviators hosting the Washington Kastles. Welcome everyone to Carlsbad, California. I'm Leif Shiras alongside a former world number 4, a 10-year veteran of World Team Tennis. That's James Blake, and a brilliant finish to the season this year. 5 teams still in the hunt for 3 playoff spots. Only the Philadelphia Freedoms have locked up a spot. They're in first place. James, it's been a brilliant year.
It really has, and what an opportunity for the Aviators right now. They know that if they win both their matches, and if Springfield comes through, they just have to win tonight. Just win and you're in. That's the situation every team wants to be in.
Now, Springfield is hosting Orange County. It's in Springfield at the Cooper Tennis Complex. We can update you on the score there. And Springfield, we're just getting reports now, winning it in a tiebreak of the men's doubles. So Springfield is one of the 2 teams now that is into the playoff with that win over Orange County. Orange County still in the mix. Nuke Empire also in the mix. Philadelphia, obviously, they're on top playing brilliant tennis. Here's a look at the standings. Remember, 4 teams qualifier. So right on the top of the cut line there, James, is the Empire, the Breakers, the Rollers, and the Storm.
And now what a situation for the Aviators. We're getting updates, and I'm sure they're getting updates as well on the bench, so they know now that the situation is win and you're in, and what a position.
Exactly. San Diego playing at home then. What's going to be the key for John and the team?
Well, I think as we look at the lineup, starting out with the mixed doubles and then the women's singles, I think their strength is really at the back with the men's singles and the women's doubles. So if they can get out to a good start, build a little bit of a lead to start this and put pressure on 4 rookies for the Washington Kastles, they put pressure on them early. I think it could be smooth sailing for them in the back of this lineup with the women's doubles and the men's singles.
So that's a look at the Wilson lineups, and that's what we'll have for you. World Team Tennis action from La Costa. The Aviators hosting the Kastles.
World Team Tennis on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Wilson. Get the best gear in the game. By DecoTurf, official tennis court surface of World Team Tennis. And by Body Armor, the more natural and better hydration sports drink.
California. All right, we're kicking things off tonight with the mixed doubles. Jonny O'Mara, Anna-Lena Groenefeld taking on Kaitlyn Christian and Marcus Daniell for the Kastles. They're in the blue jerseys. O'Mara and Groenefeld are the more accomplished pair. Groenefeld, the veteran of the 4. Daniell, of course, has really emerged in the last season. originally out of New Zealand, playing and living out of Barcelona, Spain. This is Johnny O'Mara. He's a Scot. He's got a British captain in John Lloyd. John really liked O'Mara because not only is a good doubles player, he plays with a high energy, so his style really suits World Team Tennis.
That is perfect for World Team Tennis. You got to get out to a good start. Got to play every point, be so important. Can't ever take a break, and Johnny O'Mara is perfect for that.
Out of Arbroath, Scotland, which is near Dundee along the North Sea. James, I know that because Shirus is a Scottish name, so I had to give a little Scottish love to Johnny O. He's a great guy, great player, and I think he's been a wonderful addition to this team. One reason why they're where they are, poised to make the playoffs.
Yeah, and the doubles being so important. This is such a big event for everything being equal. The doubles and the singles being, every one is just a five games. So every point's important, every game's important. They all count going into the final score. So him doing a good job taking care of his serve every time. Plays solid, as you mentioned, with the veteran Anna-Lena Groenefeld, but taking care of his serve and doing what he needs to do in every single matchup he's in.
Oh yes, O'Mara finds a little bit of space.
So I'm talking about just taking care of his serve, doing the things he needs to do right there. He saw Daniell at the last second, really trying to take over the middle of the court, and he just picked the side and
one more step forwards on that
his
volley.
Opportunity there. Doesn't need to have a lot on it, just cuts under the slice. Just puts it in the right spot.
Back on first.
Yeah, John Lloyd,
Back on first.
many years in the league. He's won it as a player. He played with the LA Strings. That's when he won it in 1990. He won it as a coach. The Aviators.
Up, here we go.
2016.
Here we go, Anna, come on.
Now we've mic'd up some of the players. Johnny O'Mara's got a microphone on, so we'll be listening to his thoughts as we get into this match. It's a fun way to get a sense of what the players are thinking about, what they're talking about.
It is, and you heard him giving a little pump up to Anna-Lena right in the middle of the first and second serve there, and that's what I feel like I got asked that question a lot when I was on tours. What do you guys say to each other after every single point? So we'll get an insight to that with Johnny. That's a lot of what you do say is, good job, it's okay, I'll get this one, you get the next one. Those kind of things where you just keep each other positive, keep each other in the moment, excited about each point. He does a great job of that.
Just a little long, and now that voice you heard calling that out call, we're using Hawkeye Live tonight, so there are no lines, people. We've got 12 cameras that are calling the lines. We've got cameras calling the foot faults. Here's Marcus Daniell, 29 years of age, and his computer-generated voices, too. So the future is upon us, James.
Pretty cool. Computerized strike zones, computerized courts out here with them being able to track the ball.
Yeah, no challenges needed, right? So our chair umpire today is really just keeping track of proceedings. And we've got the 6 footfall cameras as well, so plenty at each of these evenings.
Just a matter of time till this comes in for every event and it can be implemented and don't have to have the lines people anymore. Great serve, Groenefeld.
You can hear we've got a mic on Captain Lloyd as well. He's not only a captain here, but a long-time captain of the Great British Davis Cup team. Groenefeld, 34 years of age, out of Nordhorn, Germany. 8th season in World Team Tennis. I mean, I was looking at Groeneveld's record, James, at Wimbledon. She this year got to the quarterfinals. That was the 5th time she's been to the quarters there, and she's been to the semifinals there 3 times.
Yeah, quite a career Groenefeld has had. She comes back to World Team Tennis every year as well.
Yep.
Good serve and a good poach.
Good Jonny being active up there at net really makes a difference for your partner. Makes it a lot easier, feel so much more confident and comfortable on your serve.
Here. There.
Big return from Daniell.
Now you might have heard the here, there, meaning you're going to serve here, I'm going to go there, right?
Yeah, exactly. And when he closes his fist, that means I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay right where he is, and Daniell just ripped it right at him, and that's a good play. If he's moving, it's going to be a winner. If he's not moving, it gets it right into his chest, and that's what he did.
Always the challenge in mixed doubles is trying to protect the women's serve. You always have to face the power from across the net. Yeah, Kaitlyn Christian just missing that last forehand. So the game goes to the Aviators.
Thanks, dude.
2-1. There's Trevor Groenefeld. He's working the sidelines as coach of the Kastles. Murphy Jensen did not make the trip. Trevor from Southern California, lives down here. Former coach at UCI. And for a long time working with the USTA. So nice to see him here tonight.
Here we go.
Trying to lend his expertise to the Kastles' efforts.
There we go. Come on
He doesn't
now.
have quite the same energy as Murphy Jensen, but I have never met anyone in the world that does, so I can't really match that enthusiasm and energy of Murphy Jensen, who was my partner the 1 year I played the entire season of World TeamTennis. He was my doubles partner the whole time, and man, that was a lot of laughs.
A nice move by Daniell to the center of the court. Kaitlyn Christian, USC Trojan, All-American there, won the NCAA doubles title with Santa Maria. Her first season out of a beautiful spot, Orange, California.
Up. Here we go, be ready.
Jonny O'Mara, you can hear him giving instructions, advice, support.
Come on, here we go.
He does just returns the favor to Marcus Daniell, ripping it right at him. Left it a little high, but able to recover and put it down low to Kaitlyn Christian. Hold it just a little too far, and that could have been the effect of Marcus Daniell really trying to pinch the middle of the court and not let her go up the middle. Hold it just a little further. He's a big guy and really can take over that middle.
Great serve.
Excellent serve.
Hey, Marcus. Marcus.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
body.
together here in this before you all.
Still up. Still up. Yep.
He loves that backhand.
Here we go, Anna.
All right, so the Kastles and Kaitlyn Christian hold on to their serve. So we're just getting started here at the La Costa Resort and Spa. 2 games all.
And then the deuce side, she likes to serve that ball wide on your side. Deuce, cheat, cheat, because it's hard for her to get it up the tee. And then the other thing you might want to make an adjustment to is if when you're serving on him especially, maybe stay back, force him to see something different. I think he's better if he's got a space to hit it to, leave it open.
We can get Jones on his
5 minutes.
A minute now. Shot again.
Yeah.
When in doubt, lay out.
During halftime after the third set.
that?
Go wide and body again.
Yeah, win.
A spectacular California sunset just outside Carlsbad, California. 2 games all in the opening event of the night, mixed doubles. Jonny O'Mara serving for the Aviators. Nice shot by Groenefeld. James and I aren't alone. LZ Granderson's down courtside. LZ.
Lloyd had an opportunity to speak with Coach Lloyd about the setup. Obviously, when he's the home coach, he gets to set the order of play. I said, why do you always like to start with mixed doubles? He says, because I like to protect the serve. So to James' point that he made earlier, every point starts, every point matters. And so he wanted to make sure that he gets a good start by making sure that he protects the men's serve first. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, LZ. That's one of the advantages of playing at home. You serve first in the first, third, and fifth sets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there.
And that's a great strategy when you have the men that are more likely to hold throughout the play and get maybe to 5-4. So if they can take care of their serve, that's a lot bigger for them to be serving first and it being 5-3 instead of a 5-2, possibly if they're on the other end and get a break.
All right, the Aviators get another game, and O'Mara, his usual energetic self. 3 finals this year in Estoril, Pune, India.
Come on, here we go. This game.
Sao Paulo. He's really had a great season.
Right now, Anna. This is the game. This game. Here we go. Be
All
ready.
positivity. Love that in a doubles partner. And someone that's going to pump you up no matter the situation.
Good serve out wide by Marcus Daniell, who's playing at 36 in the ATP doubles ranks. Quarterfinals at Wimbledon, so he also had a nice run at the All England Club.
Come on, here we go.
Shank returns are better than clean returns, Jonny O'Mara says. He speaks the truth most of the time.
It's a good serve from Daniell, and of course another shank return, this time from O'Mara, but not quite in the right spot like Anna-Lena Groenefeld's.
Come on, Anna, here we go.
That's one he's got to make. He actually had that whole court open. He directed that one down the line and almost stolen a point at that point.
Up, Anna.
Nice angled volley by Groenefeld.
Talked about her being the veteran on the court there. She knew to just move forward. She didn't give up that line completely to Marcus Daniell, and when he does try to go up there, she takes that and places it where she needs to across court.
.40-30. That's one of her go-to shots.
Well disguised, and there's nothing Christian can do about that one. It's an excellent return, too. Off of Marcus Daniell first serve, she gets it right down at his feet, recognizing that he's coming to the down the line spot.
So the first deciding point of the night, gender to gender and mixed. That was a good serve.
Good serve. That's another one O'Mara would probably like to have back, though.
All right, we're on serve in this set.
Hey, we know that the Washington Capitals are not in the playoffs. The Castles are not in the playoffs. There are a bunch of young players. A lot of players they started the season with are not there. I asked Coach Trevor, exactly what are you doing to keep the guys focused? He said, I make them focus on one thing and one thing only, having fun. Don't worry about the result. Make sure you have fun. If you have fun, the results will come. Back to you.
Yeah, nice way to think is to enjoy your pressure-filled moment, I suppose. There's a lot of pressure out there in team tennis. You're playing for yourself, your team, your city.
It is a different kind of pressure when you got a whole team behind you. Look over on the bench. You don't want to let them down. And for people that haven't been here before, it is a little bit different. A lot of them haven't played Davis Cup or Fed Cup, so it's definitely a unique opportunity.
Let's go here. There. Good. Yeah, come on. So good.
Excellent from Groenefeld. Standing tall against Daniell, charging forward.
Don't mind it.
I do like the opportunity to just have fun out there. You do end up sometimes playing your best tennis, but also you don't really feel the same kind of pressure that your teammates are putting on you, that you really have to win every single point, and if they all kind of buy into that atmosphere.
Oh yeah, I like that.
It can also be better for their experience. As I mentioned, they're all rookies, so you get this kind of experience this year, and it's going to help you for future years in World Team Tennis, but also just getting out to good starts when you're on the regular tour. It's only up to 5. Every point counts. When you get out onto the back onto the regular tour, and you've got that attitude from the first point, it can really help you.
Yeah, Christian with a nice backhand volley. Kaitlyn's had a pretty strong year as well. Finals in Acapulco. Played well in Indian Wells. Got to the quarterfinals of the Dubs there. Oh, yes, Omara standing firm. So a little bit of pressure now on the USC All-American, Kaitlyn Christian. She's serving at 3-4, trying to force a 9-point tiebreaker. Remember, when you get to 4 games all, you play a 9-point tiebreaker. Another situation where it could come down to 1 point. Missed it. James, interesting note on Kaitlyn Christian. She was Emma Stone's body double in the 2017 movie Battle of the Sexes, Billie Jean King Bobby Riggs match. And I think it was Vince Spadia who taught Emma Stone how to, stroke and play the shots.
Yeah, and someone that when you played tennis at that level, when you watch that and you watch from afar and you see when they're moving, you can see that there's someone that clearly knows what they're doing and playing tennis there. So good to know it was someone as accomplished as Kaitlyn Christian that was in there.
So both coaches with the Geico timeout having a word with their teams. As you mentioned, the Aviators winning the King Trophy in 2016. The Castles have won 6 King Trophies, 5 of them in consecutive years. For a long time, they were the team to beat.
Just missed. Where with it being Hawkeye, there's no real challenge, there's no argument. It's just got to trust that the machines know what they're doing.
And there's confirmation up on the scoreboard out here of the Hawkeye, just missed by about an inch.
Reached back a little bit on that one, took a full swing. A few more errors if you're going to take that big a swing.
Yeah, kind of a smart play just to go down the line, just to keep them honest, even if it's Marcus Daniell.
Called by Daniell, calling her off, letting her know it's going out. Does float long.
So time for the 9-point tiebreak. So that was one of the reasons World Team Tennis is such an intense experience. Each game can be decided by a single point. The tiebreak can be decided by a single point. And if the game score is tied, it goes to a super tiebreaker at the very end. That could be decided by a single point.
Big overhead from O'Mara. Yeah, that is where the pressure comes in, and you hope they are just having fun, but there can be a lot of pressure in a 9-point tiebreaker. Got to take care of every single point on your serve.
Groenefeld did well to stand her ground on the first volley. Couldn't quite get it done on the second. So the Aviators calling a little Eddie Van Halen to come to the rescue. I don't think you're going to hear that at the All England Club. Van Halen on the
Possibly
change
not.
of ends.
Possibly not. Slightly different from the All England Club here.
Great atmosphere here at this wonderful Costa Resort and Spa. Wonderful hosts again this year with Aviators Tennis. Great serve and volley.
It's an excellent pickup from Daniell. That was actually a good return. It got down to his feet. 6'3". Daniell digging it out.
Get enough into that second. Caught the net. So 4 points played, they'll change ends. And again, for a lot of the players, they haven't played the 9-point tiebreaker. They're used to playing 12s.
Yeah, this is a little different, and like you mentioned, with it possibly coming down to just 1 point, and you could really take care of every single one of your serves and still lose. There's one team that will have an extra serve.
What's this like on the changeover, James, when you were playing?
Well, for this, when you do come into a team, it's so different than your norm. Normally you're coming in, you're sitting alone, you're thinking about what you need to do. There you get encouragement from all your teammates. They're letting you know, okay, you got this, it's 2-all, big points, concentrate on every point, and just get you doing the right thing. Sometimes they'll even have little tips. They notice because as much as you're focused on the match, sometimes someone from an outside viewing area can see a little bit better. Hey, they've really been picking on your back in here. They've been picking on this volley, so they can possibly help you out there on that 30 seconds. And some players love it. Some players can lean on that so much. It looks like Jonny O'Mara is the type that is looking towards them, looking towards the bench, wants that encouragement. Some players want to be focused and do a little better on their own, but this team seems to be thriving on it.
There. Come on now. Come on now. Here we go. Come on. Great serve. Here we go. Come on.
So that's 4-2. So set points for the Aviators. Kaitlyn Christian has the last 3 serves if needed.
She's got to win 3 in a row to for the Kastles to get the win here.
Groenefeld able to finish. The Aviators take the set 5-4. A nice start for the home side then. 5-4.
As the Aviators ambassadors hear from you and feel your energy, here they come. Who wants some free swag? Stand up, put your hands in the air. Here they come, the Aviators ambassadors wearing slick gun clothing. Check out the gun Aviator shop at our activation area to get yours. Who wants some? Get up, stand up, put your hands in the air. Who wants some swag? Yeah. Excellent. Here you go. Yeah. All right, folks, let's take a look up the screens.
All right, buddy. Do you know James? Pete Aldrich? Katrina, you're going to serve first? Good? Moving.
Our second set of the night, folks, will be women's singles. Hey, Aviators fans, this match is hydrated by Body Armor Sport Water. Body Armor is the water made for athletes with a proprietary small electrolyte formula and a pH 8+ to give athletes everything they need to perform at their best. Body Armor Sport Water, the official water of World Team Tennis. Women's singles up next. Playing for the Washington Kastles, ladies and gentlemen, Katrina Scott, Southern California native from Woodland Hills, represented the U.S. in the finals of the ICF World Junior Tennis Competition, the girls 16 champion of prestigious Edinburgh Championships, playing for the Castles, Katrina Scott. And ladies and gentlemen, for the first time tonight, put your hands together for...
Welcome back to San Diego Aviators, up 5-4 on the Castles, taking in the opener, the mixed doubles. So it's women's singles next up. And that'll feature sort of an up-and-coming young American, Katrina Scott, just 15 years of age, taking on Arina Rodionova of the Castles. So Rodionova, a nice addition mid-season for the Aviators. There's Rodionova. All right, now LZ is down courtside, and LZ, who you got?
Well, I got the trampoline man right here. He started off Saturday playing for the Orange County Breakers, and then you wake up on Sunday and find out you've been traded. Mr. Ward, how does it feel?
Yeah, it's good. It's great to be here. Obviously, I enjoyed my time in Newport with the Breakers. It was a great couple of weeks, and hopefully can continue some good form and bring it down here in San Diego.
Did you change your apartment? Did you have to move? Like, what was it like?
I woke up, I thought it was my day off, and I woke up Sunday, had a few missed calls, and yeah, I had to get in the car and come down here, and actually went to Vegas straight away, played there on Sunday night, so yeah, it was a quick turnaround, a lot happening.
Thanks a lot. Good luck tonight.
So, thanks very much, LZ. Yeah, James Ward, a new addition. Played a couple matches for the Breakers. Now he's here with the Aviators. This is Katrina Scott, just 15 years of age. She's in that class of young Americans, along with Coco Gauff, who are making a real impression. Finals of the Easter Bowl. Third round of the juniors at Wimbledon. Far side, that's Arina Rodionova, and she's been a nice addition for the Aviators. Solid, dependable, she wins games, she wins matches. So two very strong players in the women's singles.
Oh,
Coco Gauff at Wimbledon was such an inspiration to so many, but she was so poised it made you forget that she was just 15 years old and how young that really is. And for Katrina Scott, this is big for her to get this kind of experience in front of crowds and play this level of player with this kind of pressure. It's going to make a big difference for her throughout her career.
Good deep forehand. And at 15 years of age, out of Woodland Hills, California, obviously her first season of World Team Tennis, but a nice chance for her to play without any sort of eligibility rules with the WTA. You can think of this as a 3-week tournament.
Yeah.
If you played the entire season, it wouldn't count as an event played on the WTA. Obviously, young players like her would be limited in the number of tournaments they could play.
Getting this kind of experience can be vital for her. That, as I mentioned, there's only so many Coco Gauffs. That's a once-in-a-generation type of a talent where she's able to play and get to the second week of a Grand Slam at 15 years old. So for most of them, they have to kind of pay their dues and make their way up. And for Katrina Scott, this is her opportunity. And like you said, to do it without having any eligibility issues, to get 3 weeks of playing this level of competition in front of crowds is something that you really can't put a price on.
That's over the baseline. So the Castles, Katrina Scott will take the opening game. And one last thought on Katrina. She played qualifying in San Jose, the WTA event there. She lost to Timea Babos, a very accomplished player, a tour veteran, 7-5 in the third. So she's getting a lot of information about herself, isn't she?
Yeah.
As a player, competitor. How she matches up against others. Oh, that landed in.
Yeah, this format will be perfect for that because if you lose a couple close matches there against veteran players like Babos, it can really sting, and you only have one. You lose one match, and then you got a whole nother week to get ready for the next event. And at her age, she doesn't even get to play that many. But here, every single match, you lose a close one, next day you're playing again. 2 days later, you're playing again. So you get just tons of reps against this level of player, and you can really find out, like you said, you can find out a lot about yourself, where your game is.
There we go.
And good deep forehand from Radianova. She's out of Tambov in Russia originally, now residing in Melbourne. Her sister also emigrated. They both play out of Australia now. Her sister is Anastasia. Got 4 King trophies, did her older sister with the Washington Kastles.
There's a return from Katrina Scott that's going to win a lot of matches, a lot of points in juniors, and Rodianova up to the task and keeping it deep. And again, just more of a learning experience for Katrina Scott.
Here we go, folks. 14-15 for Rodianova for San Diego Aviators.
Wild forehand there.
Radianova takes the game, and I've been down here for a couple of matches, James, and Radianova is a dancer. I think LZ Granderson, our colleague down courtside, might be a dancer as well. We're going to have to confirm that later. Boy, that's a sweet return. It wasn't a bad serve.
Let's get this started.
She's feeding off the music.
Good body serve there. Yeah, the Aviators have won 3 consecutive matches, trying to make it 4.
Moving forward, we have Groenefeld.
Obviously, win tonight. San Diego is in the playoffs, a chance to play for the King Trophy.
These players certainly know that. They know that they win and they're in and book their trip to Vegas this weekend. New format with the playoffs. It hasn't been like this in years, and 4 teams getting in, going to the weekend, and the opportunity to win 2 matches. We've got the King Trophy.
Oh, that's a crafty play back cross court. Anna-Lena with something a little special.
It's a tremendous get here, not just getting to it, able to place it perfectly. Could have been in trouble there. Scott doesn't do quite enough with it. Nova able to, a little bit of left hand and bring that all the way back. Got some momentum working in her favor.
Yeah, sets up the forehand with the underspin. Gentlemen, that you played a couple times, Roger Federer used to set that up, the forehand with the underspin backhand.
He wasn't bad at that.
He was okay. Missed that one. Kind of an interesting contrast. I feel, you watch Scottish, got a little more topspin on the ball. Nova tends to play a little flatter, takes the ball early. Good position up on the baseline or even inside it. Nice contrast to styles in this singles match.
That's an Aviator ace, so $100 to the Federer Foundation for Boys and Girls Club of San Diego. She is on fire.
She was happy about that ace. Yeah, just not getting enough of that outside of the ball. She kind of loses it out in the alley there.
Yeah, she's missed a few that way wide. That one just barely missing, a few missing by quite a bit more than that. Set that point up beautifully.
All right, that's 3-1 for the Aviators here in the women's singles. Nova doing some nice work out here. 8-5.
Didn't want to catch it. So good. And also, if you want, you don't have to, but you can also sneak in on some of those sliders, because by the time she lunges, she pops it up. You don't have to. Yeah.
Don't come in then. You stay back.
Don't do it then. Don't do it. Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't know what's going on. Great playing. All right, here we go. Come on.
We're having a great time.
Yeah. Good for them.
Good, Omara.
Well.
All right, back at the Costa Resort and Spa, the Kastles, Katrina Scott serving at 1-3. Remember, every game counts to the total score, so she's got to continue to battle here, get games. Keep it close, and you're going to hand the baton to, well, men's doubles, women's doubles, and men's singles ultimately. So you want to keep it close so your team can strike back.
The other aviators, and they had mentioned something about really dropping that slice short and maybe following it in, and she took their advice, threw in the drop shot beautifully.
Yeah, that had a little ginsu action there, a little cutting action.
That was coming back.
Nets in play, the let off the top of the net.
By this point in the season, they've all gotten fairly used to that. They're ready to play anything as soon as it comes off the racket.
Of course, Katrina in the juniors, they play lets on college tennis. Would you like to see lets in the pro game, James?
I was very much against it when it started, because it was when I was in college that it was brought in, and really didn't like it. But at this point, I think it's okay. They do say it evens out. I just was always scared of a match point being decided that way, and I didn't love that.
And the break point is converted by Rodionova. She continues to do good things out here. And you can see her gesturing, move forward, move in, and it's working.
That was what was talked about with her team on the changeover, was keep moving forward. Don't be afraid to come in on any of those.
Friday night, CBS Sports Network will serve up all the World Team Tennis semifinal action, with the first match starting at 7 Eastern and the second going off at 10, only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. World Team Tennis, road to the King Trophy, goes through Vegas. Be held at the New Orleans Arena. Beautiful spot for the championship. So a chance for Rodionova and the Aviators to close out the women's singles.
shot there. Got the time and see Scott breaking.
Set points for Rodionova. Yeah, nice point from Scott. And what you have to really like about Katrina is how she continues to compete. There she was in at the net trying to make good things happen, and she did do it.
It's a good attitude to have. As Trevor mentioned, he was going to tell them to just have fun. And this score line, it's tough to have a lot of fun with Katrina Scott, but she's still out there competing.
That's over the baseline. Rodionova takes the set 5-1. So the Aviators, who are looking to book a spot in the playoffs, off to a great start. They take the opening set, the mixed doubles. Now they've got the women's singles 5-1.
Winning teams also get a post-match bonus for each winning night. So come on, fans, make sure you cheer for your San Diego Aviators. Let's go, Arena! Ladies and gentlemen, time now for the Gilson's Kaitlyn giveaway. 5 lucky guests will win a 25.
Yeah, but I don't know, when people are, when there's action and music, I just can't hear you.
Find out if you have gift certificate. If you're in section 105, C4. 105 C4. Section 2.
Huh?
Nice.
She's got a bad back. And they want her to play the next match for something, I don't know.
In section 205 is Be Like Boy 7.
What?
In section 203, Be Like Boy 21. And in section 202, C 16. Congratulations, you all have $25 gift certificates from Gelson's. Our True is excited to partner with the San Diego Aviators for the first time. Our True is the world's premier manufacturer of tennis court surfaces, equipment, accessories, and supplies, leading the tennis industry by creating better.
All right, little men's doubles. The excitement unmatched to San Diego. That'd be great. James, let me hear you again. 1, 2, 1.
3.
Yeah, that's
1, 2,
good.
3.
That's
Good.
good. Yeah, that's good.
All right.
It all comes together there on the court. Every court's a little different. We try to leverage our expertise to help each individual have the best work possible.
We have men's doubles coming up next, folks. This is our sponsor, Flynn Golf, and our activation zone. Flynn Golf is a sport that's easy to start and fun to master. You play on any golf course, but instead of hitting a golf ball with a club, you use a single link stick, go over the ball, and shake every shot from tee to hole. Here's a little something you explain on those screens.
Mark Lucero.
How about it, folks? Men's doubles.
College tennis,
Marcus Daniell.
Well, beautiful Southern California on a night like tonight. Plenty to do. But most of the smart people are here at the Costa Resort and Spa for World Team Tennis. The Aviators off to a great start, taking the opening 2 sets. Men's doubles is the third event of the night. I'm Leif Shiras alongside James Blake. LZ Anderson is down courtside. And our first look at Jared Hiltzik. He's out of Wilmette, Illinois, and a 3-time All-American at the University of Illinois, playing in his first season of World Team Tennis. And he's alongside Marcus Daniell, who we saw in the mixed doubles for the Kastles. And here's our first look at James Ward, who will also feature in the singles. He's out of London, England. So we've got a Brit and a Scot and a British captain, James. The British are coming.
We got the whole team, whole Davis Cup team just about.
And James Ward was playing alongside Luke Bambridge at Orange County, another Brit.
Yeah.
There are all these Brits, and we haven't mentioned a Murray.
Some news that Andy Murray's feeling pretty good, that maybe he'll be playing singles later this year. Maybe not for the U.S. Open, but
that would be a treat. Maybe even come back and play the Challenger that is right there in Scotland. It would be a treat to see him back on the singles court. It's amazing he's back even on the doubles court after the surgeries he's had and what looked to be possibly the end of his career down in Australia. He's back on the court and enjoying himself and delighting the fans.
it's amazing to think of the inspiration he has given to young tennis players. I mean, there are 7 British tennis players in the top 100 in the doubles.
Yeah.
Much less a nice handful of players. Cameron Norrie, Kyle Edmund, Dan Evans. There's a look at James, 32 years of age. And then service ace off the net cord, so Ward will be happy to take that. And Ward played Davis Cup for Britain for a number of years, so he's a very accomplished player. He did have knee surgery in August of 2017. That set him back a bit, but he's trying to get his game back.
Had some success, no success well here in San Diego. Had a big win in Petco Park where they set up a clay court and played against John Isner and Sam Querrey. Had a huge win to take the tie for the Brits.
Yeah, we play lats. We play lats.
Johnny O'Mara just reminding you of the rules as he cracked a winner.
Pretty pumped about that. Gotta love his enthusiasm. And we'll also say for Johnny O'Mara, it's not that easy for him to have played the mixed doubles, sit out for a little over a half an hour, and then get right back out there and match that energy and intensity and not stiffen up at all.
It's
a good effort for him right from the start to be on it. Good serve.
Here we go.
Jared lives and trains in Orlando, Florida. USTA National Campus there. Yeah, nice kicking second serve.
Bouncing all over the place.
Looked like it may have been a miscommunication, though. They were both going to the deuce side there.
25 years of age. Yeah, he's got a good first serve. Really generates a lot of pace.
First game goes to the Kastles. If you take a look at the total,
so the Kastles on the board, 1 game all.
The lead 11-6 over the Kastles.
So we knew that Philadelphia had clinched already a spot in the qualifying for the King Trophy playoffs. Springfield booking their spot tonight with a win over Orange County. San Diego looking to book their spot.
Put
your hands together, folks. Let's let them hear from you out there. Your San Diego Aviators, James Ward and Johnny O'Mara.
James Ward leaving that one for Omer, even though he probably could have gotten there, but would have been a much more difficult backhand overhead. Trusts his partner, Omer, coming forward.
Gun Sport to Street, athletic inspired apparel.
Yeah. Here we go. Debatable, isn't it? So, wide on both. Yeah.
Marcus Daniell returning in the ad court.
Fine. You're fine, you're good, you're good.
Unable to catch up with that. And the Castles struggling to get balls back into play. A little more consistency in their return game. Amazing to think the Castles only 2 wins this year.
James Ward saying leave it.
So San Diego has doubled up the Castles 12-6.
As comfortable as James Ward and Jonny O'Mara seem on serve, it's going to be difficult for them to make a lot of progress. They got to try to do their best to take care of their serve. Maybe eke out a 5-4 win. Get a little bit of momentum going their way. Try to make up ground in women's doubles and men's singles, which isn't going to be the easiest task against the Aviators.
Let's go wide.
Yeah, nice move by Hiltzik, All-American out of the University of Illinois. And some pretty fine tennis program there. Amir Delic came out of there, Kevin Anderson, Rajiv Ram, and of course, Coach Craig Tiley for a long time out of the University of Illinois, now CEO of Tennis Australia.
You.
Yeah, just a little too strong.
Michael Costa came out of it. Not as much known for his tennis playing, now a comic on The Daily Show.
Good call.
He's hilarious. I've seen him a couple times in person.
Here's James Ward with a good return. It's 30-all. Castles have to, at the very least, stay even and keep it close. Can't afford to lose their serve here. Otherwise, the Aviator is going to be off and running. Oh, that was money.
Perfectly placed. And I really thought with this lineup for the Aviators, if they could just get into the fourth set just with any sort of a lead, they would be off and running. And right now, them expanding this lead will be very dangerous for the Castles.
Break points.
Great serve.
Ooh, Daniels dials up the ace. And he could probably use another one of those the way that Omaro has been clicking returns. They're going to go to Omaro. Did you like returning in the deuce on a point like this?
Definitely. I like returning in the deuce a lot better than the wide. Take away that huge kick serve out to my one-handed backhand or that flat ace that Daniel just hit.
Yeah, there it is, the break. The Aviators have really been dominant tonight. The angle backhand gets the volley. They get to 3-1.
consider Marvin K. Brown, proud sponsor of your 2019 Aviators. Broken Shed Vodka from New Zealand is a proud sponsor of your San Diego Aviators this season. Enjoy the award-winning crisp, clean taste of Broken Shed, a perfect blend of 2 of New Zealand's most pristine waters and pure whey distillate. And our season signature cocktail, we call it the Aviators Shed Lemonade. DJ Danny is on his 5th. A refreshing summer cocktail created for you to cheer on the team and enjoy the clean, crisp taste of Broken Shed Vodka from New Zealand.
We'll talk about the parity in the league.
Yeah, I heard.
I'll go. Oh, you did today.
Yeah, I just caught the end of it.
Some trouble with that.
Yeah.
San Diego shining like a jewel box tonight, a brilliant California evening. So far for the Aviators, it's going real well. Here's a look at the hunt for the playoffs. The schedule tomorrow: Springfield at Vegas, San Diego at Orlando, New York at Philadelphia. Remember, Philly and Springfield have clinched, but San Diego, New York, Orange County, all very much in the mix tonight. If San Diego gets the win, well, they're in the playoffs and a chance to play for the King Trophy. Now we're joined in the booth. I'm Leif and James, joined by Carlos Silva, the CEO of World Team Tennis. A brilliant season. I mean, so much on the line coming down the stretch here in the regular season.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, each of the teams have really brought it, and now, a couple matches left, and there's still, a bunch of guys in the playoff hunt. You got to love it.
Is this what you envisioned when you came up with the idea to have the 4 teams in it as opposed to the 2 that it's been in the past, that you wanted to have it come down to the last day of the season?
Well, you don't have a postseason if just 2 teams make it. So now, with 4 teams making it in, classic seeds, 1 will play 4, 2 will play 3, and there's a real postseason to get to the championship. And I think it's got more meaning when you're going to win the King Trophy this year as a result of that.
It's so exciting, and to do it in Vegas, plenty of action going on in that city. You got to assume the players are very excited about getting the opportunity to play in Vegas.
You just say Vegas. It's the fight capital of the world, entertainment capital of the world, and so for them to have their postseason and then potentially be able to get to the finals in Vegas, you're right. You tell your friends about it. You make sure you get the cap that says playoffs in Vegas, and you keep that one.
Maybe a celebration afterwards too.
Maybe so.
James Ward at 30 love. San Diego trying to build on this break advantage. In Vegas, the sports community there seems to be growing now. You've got the Golden Knights, you've got the Aces, and now you've got the Rollers in there. It seems like they are really embracing everything that World Team Tennis has to offer.
Oh, I think being another pro team in Vegas right now, the Raiders are coming. They got the WNBA Aces, and then, of course, what the Golden Knights have done. And, we had great crowds every night. We got Red Foo as an assistant. He's getting the crowd going. It's been amazing.
Yeah, Johnny O'Mara, he's been the catalyst for this team. And just a reminder, the semifinals of World Team Tennis will be on Friday. We'll have the first match starting at 7 Eastern and the second coming at 10, only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. And what a backdrop for this King Trophy race coming down to the finish line. What an exciting time. And you have such a great background in Vegas. You know it so well. You put it in a wonderful place in Orleans as well.
No, it's great. I was there for a couple building an MMA league and the Professional Fighters League, and to be there and for CBS Sports Network to put 6 hours live during the postseason, the semifinals, is just outstanding. I think it's going to be great for the players too.
How great it is to have someone like Red Foo. I think he really is a great example of World Team Tennis, someone that takes tennis so seriously but can also entertain. He can get the crowd into it, and that's what you see here in World Team Tennis. There's so much entertainment value.
He was on the bench the other day when I was in town for the match on CBS last Sunday, and in between he's yelling out, "It's what time is it? It's break time!" and just having a great time and getting the crowd going. And look, that's what makes World Team Tennis unique and fun. I mean, James, because you played, and Leif, you as well, and there's nothing like it, the high fives and them getting the crowd going.
Yeah, and the team atmosphere can bring out so much more in the players' personalities. See Jonny and Mary, see James Ward that wouldn't normally be together on tour, but now they're such great teammates and getting cheered on by Nova and Groenefeld. They have just a blast out there, and it adds something to your year. Your season is usually very isolated, and to have a team feel like a part of this, it brings out their personality and plenty of entertainment.
Incoming. Heads up in the crowd.
So that double fault brings up a couple of set points for the Aviators, so they are really starting to roll as Daniell and Hiltzik just don't have the answers for the Kastles.
Get up there. Come on, here we go.
So we've got microphones on the players. You can hear Jonny O'Mara talking. And that's on the baseline. Carlos, thanks for visiting with us.
It was great to be here, guys.
Congrats.
Look forward to seeing you at the playoffs.
Yeah,
and,
we're looking forward to Vegas and all the excitement. San Diego's getting closer to being a part of the party. You might see the Aviators there. They've got the men's doubles now, 5-1.
Oh, yeah.
You got ages.
Yeah, don't use a bucket like I did.
The winner can go out on the court.
Wardy.
So here's the deal.
Wardy.
We had our winner
Remember you got Mike.
who guessed the 2020 tennis balls. And
No, they don't want to
Jonny,
hear
you want
that.
to tell us how many tennis balls were in there?
Yeah. Well, you were saying that what Freddie liked his coding. He'd sit in the room and code all day.
2 all. So congratulations to Marlon
It's a hell of a guess.
of Arca.
Jeez, you get that close?
Balls in the BMW C4 contest. Right here, folks. Put your hands together for Marlon.
You got it, man.
He gets 6 months, doesn't he, or something? 6 months lease.
Just remind me on the count back in case I don't hear.
Drive it for 6 months or something.
Thank you for your support and congratulations on the win. How in the heck did you come up with 2020?
Focus. Big focus. Big focus tonight.
Oh, that's why he's done it.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, Marlon. You did it. There you go, folks. That's it. Our winner of our
So,
BMW C4 ball. The contest winner, which is a weekend test drive of that
what?
beautiful BMW.
Don't tell me they're giving away a BMW. How did I get into that?
Here at the beautiful Omni Costa Resort. Marlon, you did it. Way to go. All right, folks, we also have another winner tonight. We're giving away a gun jacket. Yes. You know the gun jackets for your aviators. DJ Dan is wearing the gun right now. It says on the back of it, peace, love, tennis.
Yeah, who you want me to grab?
A gun jacket right now. Check under your seats.
Okay, hold on.
If you're in section 203, no, is that 103? Section 103, seat E19. Check under there. You have just won a gun.
Back in beautiful Southern California and World Team Tennis. The regular season winding down. And some results from tonight so far. Confirmation of the domination from the Aviators. The Kastles, a tight opening set, 9-point tiebreaker, but then 5-1, 5-1. That's going to be a tough deficit to overcome.
It's very difficult, especially with women's doubles and men's singles coming up. James Ward looks to be the anchor at the bottom there, and if you give him this much of a lead, it's going to be tough to break his serve even once, but let alone enough times to get back into this match.
All right, well, while we'll have a moment, LZ Granderson's down courtside. LZ, who have you got this time?
Well, I got Coach Lloyd with me, and Coach, you start off with a very tight first set. Seems they're broken over as the match has gone on. What's been the difference for your team?
Yeah, well, they played, I mean, obviously, Arena coming out and winning that women's singles so convincingly. she was a little bit nervous at the beginning because she's playing someone that she's never seen before, and that's always a bit edgy. First couple of games, she just kind of sussed out her opponent, and then once she got down, she played her own game, and she was so good tonight. That gave us that little cushion. When you have that cushion, the men's doubles then can kind of open up their shoulders a little bit and be aggressive. So it's been a great team effort so far.
You look in a great position to make the playoffs tonight. How does your mindset change knowing that you got that part wrapped up?
Well, let's get this done first, and then we can have a nice match tomorrow night and then prepare for the playoffs. And the team has worked hard. We've deserved this, made a good comeback in the last few matches, and the team's ready now, and I see no reason why we can't go the whole way.
Your team loves to dance. They love to party. You see Omara's out there cheering with the crowd. What's the secret to such levity in the midst of all this pressure?
Well, our owner, Fred Luddy, always said that he wanted a successful team if possible, but more importantly, he wanted a team of personalities that would interact with the crowd. And I always make sure every year I do my homework and make sure we pick good players, really good players, but players that get team tennis and have fun out here, and you can see what they're like, and it's a pleasure to work with them, I'll tell you that.
Well, I see a lot of them dancing, but I haven't quite seen you bust a move yet. Is that going to happen tonight for us?
No. If you saw me dance, the crowd would leave immediately, so it's best I just sit down there and just watch it, enjoy watching it myself.
Well, fair enough. Good luck the rest of the night, and congratulations. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, LZ. I mean, I, for one, I think James, too, would like to see John dance. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't go anywhere.
I don't know how those knees are holding up. If his knees are okay, I'd like to see him dancing.
Yeah, it looks like Arena and Anna-Lena are holding up pretty good. They're getting a little jiggy with it.
They are loving it.
And why not? They've got a nice lead, 15-6. And women's doubles coming up. Anna-Lena Groenefeld, Irina Rodionova. Now, in addition to the Kastles lineup, we're going to have Marta Kostyuk, who's a very talented player. She's serving. She'll make her first appearance. She's been having some injury issues, so she didn't play the singles tonight, but did play the doubles. She'll play alongside Kaitlyn Christian. Trevor Kroneman is the captain. They're going to serve first. Visiting side serves first in the second and the fourth sets.
He mentioned that he wants them having fun, and this is going to be a test of it for these last two sets.
And just confirmation, the Springfield Lasers are playoff bound, downing the Breakers 22-16. They secure their spot in Vegas. Lopez, Perez, and Lindstedt on the men's doubles. 5-4, 5-0 in the 9-point tiebreak. So congrats to the Lasers. They're going to be a part of the Vegas party. Marta Kostyuk serving.
Clearly going to have momentum to the start they've had to this match.
Kostyuk out of the Ukraine. A player with a lot of potential, just 17 years of age.
Yeah.
And over the years, James, Victoria Azarenka played World Team Tennis as a teenager. Maria Sharapova played as a teenager. So we got a lot of young players getting a taste of this competition.
Yep.
Oh, Groenefeld.
Plenty of them getting welcomed to the tour by veterans who can hit shots like that off that kind of a serve. And you know, it's definitely a learning experience for those young players. I started playing when I was very young, and it gives you some confidence, but just some ability to focus. And as I said, it's somewhat of a unique experience. You're playing with a team instead of by yourself out there.
Another winner. That one caught the sideline. So the Aviators, everything they're touching is turning to gold, 16-6, and they're running away with it. Just wonder whether Kostyuk and Christian can make something happen. Anything you were thinking about when you were getting a taste of a tough loss?
Yeah, when you're a young player, and you talk about Trevor Groenefeld saying just try to have fun, but for some of these young players, they want to really match up their game and see how it is and see if they can make any sort of progress. And right now, it doesn't look like it, but if that's the case, you got to get back to the drawing board and figure out what you need to do in practice.
Good quick hands.
And sometimes you got to just tip your cap and say it's too good. There are other players that they're having a great day, and go back to the drawing board and see what happens on the next day. And that's what's great about team tennis as well, is you got 3 weeks of that. 3 weeks of really matching your skills up against these players, and you have to find a way to have your own good days.
And good shot by Rodionova. One last thought on Costa. She qualified at the Australian Open. You might remember back in 2018, she was just 16 years old. And she won a couple rounds. She beat Peng Shuai, who was 14 at the time. Youngest player to win a main draw match since Martina Hingis in 1996. So she's got some upside in her young career. Looking forward to see how she evolves.
She was 16. Coco Gauff going to break that record next year.
That's right. That could be a very possible thing.
Yeah.
Good deep shot there. Handcuffed Groenefeld.
Clap your hands, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
That's an ace. It's tough to say if that should be on tour sometimes when it's just a dead let court like that. But then again, it's just the same as any other ace.
Oof, there's some of that skill.
Moving forward, forceful. And on top of the net.
I think she's still upset about having lost her serve because she hit that volley with a fair amount of serious intent.
Yeah.
It's a deciding point right here, folks.
Anna-Lena has had some occasional double fault problems this season. There was the first one of the day. Brings up a deciding point.
Ripped right at her. Was up to the task.
Yeah, this first one, watch this. Bang. Did well to get it into play. That ball should not have been hit to the net person there. Yeah, and she knows it.
It's just about anywhere else in the court with that kind of pace. That's a winner. It was right on the racket. Rodionova. Such a good backhand lob. He's hit already 3 of those today. Just been perfectly placed. Disposing of these serves. Nothing Costa could do about that one up at net. Nova places it in the alley.
I'm trying to think back on your career. I thought I saw you dancing like that on court, James. I'm not sure.
Oh, I can't recall that time. If I did, I hope there is a video.
Yeah. It was before cell phones, I think.
Thank goodness.
The Aviators, plenty of reason to express their elation, but I mean, they're playing so well also. They seem to be hitting the ball so cleanly right in the middle of the strings.
They're just carrying this momentum. It's going from set to set, and this entire match, they're just getting better and better. Oh, excellent volley. That was a good return by Groenefeld, but beautifully placed volley by Christian. Not pacing it, just stopping.
Yeah, what an interesting position for Costa back at the baseline.
Two back to start, but then Christian's running forward off the second serve. Just confuse them with strategy, but
yeah. I'm confused.
Didn't work on that one.
Yeah. Oh, that's a sweet shot. So another break, another game for the Aviators.
Kostyuk looks like she may be in a little bit of pain.
Yeah, she's
had some back injuries.
Yeah. 7 straight games for the Aviators.
Aviators 18, the Washington Kastles 6.
Nice move by Christian into the middle.
Turn Kostyuk and volley.
Yeah, you can see these two being complementary. Costa hits the ball so hard. Christian, good hands at the net, good movement. Christian, an NCAA doubles champion at USC. Oh my. How did that find the corner?
Those nights where just everything is going in, everything they touch, and they really didn't do anything wrong here. This lands in the one spot where it's a clean winner.
$15.30. So the Kastles still hanging in. Costa looking like a very dangerous player with the pace that she can generate. She's working a little bit these days with Roger Federer's coach, Ivan Lubicic.
Overhead with Groenefeld getting back. She might not be able to get back to that, but handles it without a problem.
She's moving well, 34 years of age, still having great success. In fact, she was a quarterfinalist as a singles player at Roland Garros back in '06. So she's had a long, successful career playing doubles these days.
We've got 2 game points of 40-30 right here to the 4-0 in this set. Let's hear it from you. Come on, put your hands together for your Aviators.
All right, there's 4 straight games in the women's doubles. And when you're dominating by this kind of score, you're going to do these kinds of things. Arena Radianova showing how she's getting it done tonight.
Yeah. That is nice.
And Mark Ein has this week doing, his tournament. What? Five one. So the Aviators looking good in their move to try and win tonight and get to the playoffs and play for the Billie Jean King Trophy this year. Here's the hunt for the playoffs. 2 spots remain. San Diego plays Orlando. New York at 7-6 play Philadelphia. Philadelphia has already clinched a spot. Orange County 6-7, so could be some interesting developments there, James, with New York and Orange County poised as they are.
Yeah, got to look into the tiebreakers there. Both of them could very well end up the night 7-7. Tiebreakers will decide who goes to Vegas there. San Diego looking very comfortable.
Yeah, Orlando is playing at Vegas tonight. 19-6 is the score currently. Hey, your buddy Marty Fish, he was playing for the New York Empire, had a good result against Enrique Lopez Perez. Of course, had a loss tonight at tiebreak, go to Mitchell Kruger.
2 pretty good performances for a guy that hasn't played on tour in about 4 or 5 years, so impressive by him.
He's got some great hands, doesn't he?
He does, great hands. The serve he's still got a big serve, so he can still get out there and play. It's a guy that seemingly has endless talent, turns around onto the golf course and can shoot lights out there too.
15 love.
So this is Kostyuk serving, 17 years old, out of the Ukraine. And the last win that the Kastles had was against the Lasers. That was in DC. One of the 2 they've had this season. Nick Kyrgios played singles, led the team to a victory. And there was an underhand serve in that match. Check that one out on WTT.com.
He's not afraid to use that when he needs to, and I don't understand any sort of controversy about it at all. If it's a tactic that's going to work, why not use it? Just the same as hitting a drop shot at any point. I don't feel like that's disrespectful to anyone. And players are standing further and further back to return serves, especially these huge serves guys like Nick Kyrgios have. If I was still on tour and I actually had a serve like that, I would use it, but not too many people needed to back up as much for my serve.
just over the service line there, 30-all. Do you think it's disrespectful to your opponent? I mean, Rafa Nadal
Not
is
at
a little
all.
bit aggravated by that.
Don't think it's disrespectful at all. I think it's part of the game, and it's a strategy. If the goal is to win the point, and if someone's standing so far back, they're trying to take away your huge serve and bring them moving forward. Throw in some variety and make them think every time they step up and they start moving that far back. It's going to come at a big moment.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a tactic. It's nothing disrespectful. I think it's just part of the game. And again, if it's someone's addressing a position you're assuming, it's just strategic.
Yeah. In my opinion, I feel like it's just the same as saying it's disrespectful to move all the way back to the fence to return the serve. That's just another strategy, whereas 20 years ago, no one would have done that. They're standing right up on the baseline, maybe a foot or two behind it, but now players have moved to 12 feet behind the baseline.
Yeah.
So if they're going to do that to adjust to the changing serves, then what's to say the servers can't adjust to the changing position of the returner?
Set point Aviators. Oh my goodness, what a shot and what a set of tennis for the Aviators. I'd say they were in the zone, James.
They definitely were. I mean, everything they touched. I mean, that one maybe was a little bit late on it, and it was perfectly late.
20-6, the Aviators.
Our last set of the 9 posts will be men's singles. Men's singles is our last set of the night. Seltzer Kaplan McMahon BTEC is one of the most respected law firms in San Diego. For over 70 years, the firm has been committed to providing tailored legal solutions to help families and businesses succeed. Seltzer Kaplan McMahon BTEC is proud to support our community and look forward to seeing our San Diego Aviators rise above the competition this season. Let's welcome to the screen.
Our goal is to provide the widest range of products we can for people to have the best tennis experience possible. All types of products that can be used on a tennis court, from the nets, posts, the basic infrastructure, and amenities that make the game safer or just more comfortable for players. It all comes together there on the court. Every court's a little different. We try to leverage our expertise to help each individual have the best court possible.
The Aviators are excited to partner with BMW of Encinitas this year. Check out all the cars on site here. And when you're ready for a test drive, visit BMW of Encinitas located on Encinitas Boulevard. BMW of Encinitas is your go-to destination for all things BMW, featuring an extensive selection of new and pre-owned BMW vehicles, state-of-the-art service center, exclusively special.
Well, the sign is a reflection of how things are going. They've been going the Aviators' way, that's for sure. Take a look at this run of consecutive sets, 5-1, 5-1, and then 5-love in the women's doubles. So we'll close it down with the men's singles now. James Ward for the Aviators, taking on Jared Hiltzik of the Kastles. And I'm sure Hiltzik would like to make an impression. Although Ward's a fairly experienced player, he'll definitely have the edge in that regard. 32 years of age against Hiltzik, playing just 25 years of age. post-college career.
Yeah, James Ward will have the advantage, he'll have the edge, and also he'll feel extremely comfortable. I think neither of the guys have much pressure on him, though, with this scoreline.
All right, let's go down courtside to LZ.
Hey, thanks a lot, Leith. I am here with probably the player of the night, certainly the dancer of the night. You're having an extremely good time in between points. Do you have some sort of symbiotic relationship with the DJ? He knows the kind of music you love?
Well, yeah, we met like 6 days ago when I arrived, and you know, I love any kind of like pumped up music, and it's a lot of energy here, you know, from the crowd, and I'm just really enjoying myself, and I love to dance, so it's a good combination, you know. Good music, good crowd, good atmosphere. What else do you want?
Do you have this much fun when you're on the tour?
Unfortunately, no, but we don't have music playing between the points, but hopefully one day they're gonna bring it in, you know, because I love it here.
You had some amazing winners tonight. Are you just in the zone right now?
I'm just, you know, I think when you're having fun, everything seems to be better. Like, and my tennis is better as well. I think it helps. And, you know, having my team on the bench supporting me, it gives me a lot of energy as well. So I'm just loving it.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Keep dancing.
All right, LZ, thanks. And you can see that Arena, she won the King Trophy in 2011 with the Kastles. So she's got some huge experience in terms of dealing with pressure. And the dancing is a nice release. James Ward serving.
And you'll see Hiltzik here. He's a relatively streaky player. He's got big first serve. He goes for his shots, but it's going to have to be a pretty long streak to get him and the Kastles back into this match. If he were to win this set, it would go to extra time and extra games, but he'd have to win every game.
Yeah, nice play from Hiltzik.
Put your hands together for James Ward, ladies and gentlemen.
And Hiltzik's a player, I've watched him a couple times where he tends to play with a little more finesse. He's got an overpowering first serve, but tends to play with more control off the ground. He's got a nice two-hander.
That's just not quite enough done with that one. Attacking the James Ward backhand.
Excellent return.
Good job of taking the time away on that one. Steps inside the court. Takes it before it gets out of the strike zone. Give himself a few break points here.
Dials up the first serve down the tee. Ward from London, trains a fair amount at Roehampton.
See his confidence level in the backhand side. I think about 90% of the tour would have stepped around that and hit a forehand overhead or just a forehand, and he was comfortable just waiting on it, ripping that backhand. This much time, he could have done just about anything with it, and he decides, no, I'm going to stick with my backhand. That's my bread and butter.
So San Diego tonight, the edge in deciding points, 3-1. Good pressure from Ward. He comes back from 15-40 down to to get the opening game. Pretty clutch game from the Aviator.
It's good playing from 1540 there, and it's got to deflate Hiltzik just a little bit, thinking, okay, maybe I can get a lead, get up a break, and start chipping away at this huge deficit, but just getting larger now.
Three-time All-American at the University of Illinois. Nice little change up with that underspin backhand. Ward his dad is a taxi driver in London.
Those taxi drivers know the entire city inside and out. It's impressive.
I think in London they call them black cabs, right?
Yeah. You take one of them, you can test them all you want. You give them an address and they know how to get there. And this is before the days of Waze and Google Maps or anything else. They could do it on their own.
Yeah, you can see those guys driving around London on their little scooters with the maps in front of them, learning the roads. 30 all. Hiltzik's forehand has let him down a bit tonight. Some unforced errors off that wing. It's not a surprising development that Radianova is dancing courtside. LZ confirmed that.
Almost surprised LZ isn't out there dancing alongside. We talked to John Lloyd. He's not going to be out there dancing, but we didn't confirm or deny whether LZ is going to be out there dancing at some point tonight. Another deciding point.
So this run of consecutive games continues for the Aviators. Incredible.
I can't remember a longer run in World Team Tennis that I've seen when I was a player, commentator, fan.
11 straight games.
I can't remember a time seeing 11 straight games from either team.
Yeah, the Aviators are playing like they want to make reservations right now for Vegas.
Leaving nothing to chance. Don't want this coming down to final set tiebreaker.
And Ward, who's had a couple of wins this year over Sam Querrey in team tennis, he seems to be comfortable matching up against Sam, and that's not easily done.
No.
Querrey's a handful.
Got caught a little bit with that let court and didn't feel like he had any other option but to try the tweener there. Fortunately not successful. serves in a row, and things just seem to be falling into place for the Aviators.
So another game, and that's 3-love. Gun sport to street, athletic-inspired apparel. So that's, was it 12 games now, James? That's an incredible run.
More than I've ever seen.
So the Castles in a world of hurt tonight. The Aviators will be enjoying the celebration as they'll play in Vegas. Last year's King Trophy match, the Springfield Lasers beat Philadelphia Freedoms. So the Freedoms, boy, they'd like to get back and have another swing at it. Taylor Townsend, Fabrice Martin have really been the stars for that side. They've been the best team in the league so far with their record, 11-2. Taylor Townsend last year, James, was undefeated in singles. Won every set she played.
It's pretty amazing because the sets are so short. You get down one quick break, it's so difficult to get it back.
And going into this year, 2019, she won her first 4. So
this format,
17 in a row.
This format seems to treat her well.
I think it speaks to her style as well. She's aggressive. She comes forward. She volleys. She puts pressure on opponents to come up with something good.
Ward coming forward very comfortably, moving Hiltzik around, looking like with ease.
Talked about some of the University of Illinois All-Americans. Kevin Anderson, 3-time All-American at the University of Illinois. Amir Delic won the NC2As back in '03 for Illinois. All right, the Fighting Illini. And Hiltzik getting a game. The Castles on the board in the men's singles, but the Aviators closing in on the match.
Yeah, turn games, just more in play and try to get in play. Yeah.
I'll be fine.
All right, let's go.
Well, the Aviators in complete command tonight, closing in on the win over the Kastles. Tomorrow night at 7 Eastern, CBS Sports Network takes it to a different court with some WNBA action as Atlanta battles Indiana, only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. WNBA, Atlanta and Indiana squaring off. Here in World Team Tennis, it's Washington visiting San Diego. James Ward of the Aviators trying to close this one out. It was only a few days ago that Ward was playing for the Orange County Breakers, but a huge trade developed. And Orange County still on that cut line. They might not make the playoffs, but here's Ward a couple games away from being on a playoff team.
Yeah, it's got to feel good to not be sure just a few days ago, and now he's comfortably going to clinch this for the Aviators, it looks like.
Remember, the losing side does have the opportunity to come back if they win the last set. Hiltzik would have to come back and win the set and then make up the difference in consecutive games won. Pretty good forehand pass there across court.
Here we go.
Backhand extremely flat, not a lot of margin. It's pretty difficult to create his own pace. Very different than the James Ward backhand, where he's actually able to create pace and a lot more spin as well.
Wow.
Another Aviator ace. And another $100 to the Zephyr Foundation.
Ward with the drop shot winner.
Just moving around so beautifully behind the baseline. Saw how far back he was. Drop shot with great feel.
The Kastles haven't been touching much tonight. 7 games in total. Hiltzik serving to stay alive in this one.
Great return, James Ward.
Ward hasn't done too much wrong today, but some game points for the Kastles. left up too much space down the line. So here is a match point for the Aviators if Ward can get the break. Now there it is. James Ward and the Aviators. A huge victory tonight on their home court to put them into the playoffs.
What a performance when they know the results from the Springfield Lasers, and now they just need to win. And they're ready for Vegas for the semifinals on Friday, and that's a commanding performance that they just put up there.
All right, so an exciting moment for the Aviators. James Ward, the closer, 5-1. Back with more. We'll wrap things up from San Diego.
World Team Tennis on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Geico. Saving...
We have someone who left their phone over here by around 106, okay? Section 106 and E8. 106 E8. Oh, there you go. There's the picture.
World Team Tennis on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Geico. Saving people money for over 75 years. By Rocket. Game-changing phones with glasses-free 3D. And by Forevermark. A diamond is forever.
So beautiful San Diego on a night when the Aviators were thoroughly dominant. The opening set you thought might be sort of setting the tempo for the rest of the night, but no, the Aviators run away with it, losing under 3 games in 4 sets, James.
That's incredible, like I've never seen.
Incredible performance. Let's go down courtside to LZ. LZ?
Hey, thanks a lot, Leaf. I'm here with Jonny O'Mara, rookie year, playoffs. You're going to Vegas, baby. How does that feel?
Feels good. It's been a tough season. I've been here from the start, but I've had a few different teammates, but I think the squad that we have now is good, and yeah, we're absolutely loving it.
How is that for you as a tennis player to have a team that's constantly moving like that?
I mean, I've been lucky. I've had Ryan Harrison, Taylor Fritz, Anna Samova, and I've now got James Ward. So, I mean, you won't hear me complaining. But no, we got a great team spirit here. We've had Anna from the start, me from the start, and you know, Coach John is probably the best coach in World Team Tennis. So he's pulled us through.
How difficult is it to play your best when you look up in the stands, one of the greatest players of all time, and Mr. Laver is watching you perform?
Well, if you'd asked me that on the first 2 nights, you'd have said, yeah, very difficult. But fortunately for us, he's come 5 or 6 times now, so I've gotten used to it. And it's an absolute honor to play in front of him, and a big idol of mine. So I managed to get my 2 bad performances out of the way, and hopefully he doesn't think I'm too bad now.
All right, this is a very important question, so I want you to think about this carefully. Who is the best dancer on your squad?
Me. I mean, I'm trying to get John Lloyd going. There was one song where he started tapping his foot to the complete wrong beat. So I'm taking it.
Well, if you're going to call your shot like that, you're going to have to show us a little boogie boogie, brother.
I need a bit of music, but I can't believe I'm actually doing this, but
If you're the best dancer in the squad, then I'm going to need to look at the squad over again.
Fortunately, it's my tennis. So.
Thanks a lot. Congratulations. Enjoy Vegas.
Thanks so much.
Back to you guys.
All right, thanks very much. Jonny cutting it pretty clean. So here's a look at the standings, James, and still 1 spot remains. It'll come down to the final evening, day 18. Empire, Breakers, all in the mix.
That's the way it should be. What a season so far, and come down to the last match. Brian, the Breakers got so much on the line tomorrow. San Diego Aviators can have a much more comfortable match tomorrow now.
Yeah, that's amazing that the season will come down to the final night as the Empire and the Breakers to see which will grab that last and invaluable 4th spot. Of course, the winner of that will take on the Philadelphia Freedoms in the first semifinal. That'll be in Vegas on August 2nd. And remember, we'll have 2 semifinals on that day, one at 7 and one at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. So, for James Blake, LZ Grandison, and our entire crew, I'm Leif Shiras. Join us Friday night. CBS Sportsnet will serve up all the World Tennis semifinal action with the first match starting at 7, the second at 10. Presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.